Hey there, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Good morning, crypto friends. We are live. It is Wednesday, April 7th. We are running behind due to technical difficulties as we struggle here off the grid. That's living off the grid, folks. Always a surprise, very, very fun. So we're having a look at Bitcoin starting to bleed out a little bit here. So let's have a look at the charts. We're going to look down at support to hold down there around the 54,892.80. And going to look at resistance on the climb back up for 55,909. So we're looking for a bounce attempt to happen here for us. Let's go ahead and move that for you. 55,625.41 as we are getting into the oversold territory. So typically when we hit that, when that RSI hits below that 30, we will see a bounce. How we doing out there, folks? Hope you're doing okay. Got those stop losses probably all triggered as it takes people out of trade. So you got to be on your toes to get back in there. Let's move on to Ethereum, ETH, USD. Ethereum getting all the way through multiple levels of support all the way down to, we're going to look down at the 1907.34. So we'll be scouting an entry once we get down here. And the fallback would be your 100-day moving average shown here on this yellow line. So support down at the 1907.34, and then coming back up through, we'll look for resistance at 1942.81. For ETH USD, looks like a lot of folks got in here over leveraged and got marginalized. Moving on to BNB USD Binance Coin. Got all the way up to that new all-time high, as you see up there at the 14. Where is my all-time high? It disappeared on me. Anywho, all-time high was 422.08. So we fell through support, and we're going to look to hold. Let's zoom in here so you can see a lot better. There we go. So we'll go to the 1 hour to find some support levels for you there. So we did get through this 100-day moving average. Hello? Yep, there we go. That's much better. And so go to the 30-minute to split that candle up. There we go. See if we can find that. Looks like we're going to try to hold in right in this area here at the 357.211. We are in the oversold on the 30-minute time frame, so we'll go to the 1 hour, probably not so, and then the 4 hour, a little bit room to go there for BNB USD. If you're in there, you did get through the 26-day moving average here on the 4 hour, so keep an eye out for that, as we'll probably need to come all the way down and retest this 0.382 Fibonacci for BNB USD. Yes, CHZ, we'll get to that. A boozer. I'm sorry if I butchered your name there. Yeah, CHZ will be in there in just a second. So moving on to ADA USD. Cardano. Cardano, we are down to support at the 1.157. Going to find resistance coming back through at the 1.193. Let's have a look at PolkaDot, DOT USD. I wanted to leave these support levels to show you how we just fell right through those. So we have support 37.3444, and resistance on the climb back up is going to be 39.01 for DOT. Moving on to Litecoin, LTC USD. Massive drop, got all the way down to, the 0.38 Fibonacci over here to the left. And then we have this previous low. So support is going to be at the 209.75. So we'll look for that to hold up. And then resistance going to be right there on that previous high at 216.73. Moving on to LNK USD. Chainlink. Chainlink got all the way down to this support level there. Let's see. We'll look for that to hold on this previous low at 29.978. Going to find resistance now that we're underneath these moving averages, the 12 and the 26, at the 31.40. So scouting a bounce on all these names. Moving on to Stellar. Stellar did trigger my stop loss for this particular trade, so I'm completely out of this one, except for my hodl position I always keep. But support at the 0.440. Resistance is going to be right there on that previous high at the 0.477. Moving on to Vechain, VETUSD. VETUSD looking like we're going to try to close above that 26-day moving average. That's very encouraging. For Vechain, we'll look for that support to hold in case you need another level. It's going to be down there at the, right there at the 0.09945. And resistance will be right there, 0.1055. We do have the all-time highs for all the way up. It was up there, so it's 0.1208. 1208. So there you go. Moving on to VTHO USD. Had support at the 0.0142. Resistance will be first encountered up here at the, right there at the 0.0153. Moving on to FIL USD. We did get above that 100-day moving average. That's important. So good news for there. So we did get back into the buy target for the bounce back up. So we are oversold. We're looking for a bounce for FIL USD. Just watch that volume, and then you want to look for a higher low, and then a close above that higher low, and you're off and running. Resistance will be at the 158.549, support at the 135.81 for FIL USD. Moving on to Internet of Things, IOTA. Support just above that 100-day moving average at 1.560. We'll zoom in a little bit so you can see a lot better out there, folks. And you're going to have some resistance climbing back up through this recent, pivot here. So resistance at the 1.646, support 1.560 for IOTA. Let's look on to COMP, COMP, USD. Bound support, good bounce off this previous low over here at the 434.4225. And resistance will be coming back through these previous highs at the 459.954. Moving on to BAT, Basic Attention Coin. Yeah, you're right, Gordon. Yeah, Enjin went down, got flushed. So we'll have a look at that here in a second there. Appreciate the comment in the chat over there. Looking at support down there to 1.1497. Resistance coming back up through 1.1980. Let's see what's going on with Ethereum Classic. Only down 1%, so holding in pretty strong there for ETC Classic. We did bounce right off where I had that stop limit, so I don't know. Haven't checked this morning if I stopped out on that particular one. So good support level holding there right at the 16.921. And look it up at resistance, going to be at the 17.723. And we do have our all-time high sitting up here in range. Let's see, that was 20 point, let me go ahead and dial that one in there for you. 20.792 was the all-time high for Ethereum Classic. We were in the overbought, and then RSI's cooled down enough, so we may be scoping a bounce attempt. We'll see who gets the spotlight in these altcoins. Let's move on to Mana, M-A-N-A, USD. Mana bleeding out a little bit. So we got all the way down, found support at the 0.829661. And gonna find, we got some resistance to encounter as we have all of our moving averages up above us here. So watch out for that, but we are in the oversold. So a lot of these names, folks, are gonna be bounce attempts. And resistance, if I didn't mention that, 0.878 for Mana. Let's have a look at ZIL, Z-I-L, USD. Getting all the way down to that moving average of 100 days right there. That's why we chart these things. Perfect execution bounce off of that support. So we have support down there to 0.18146. And then look at resistance up there at the 0.1874 for ZIL. Look at that NUUSD. As you can see, some of these names did not retreat as much as the others. These were laggards that weren't up as, all-time highs and such. So we always have to anticipate, pardon me, a pullback when we get overbought and big run up. So always a great buying opportunity if you're missing out. So we are trying to find support right there. These previous resistance becomes support for us. So support there to 0.5674 and resistance when you climb back up. Let's go to the 1 hour and get that for you real quickly here. We'll get to these names that you guys have requested here coming up here shortly. So bear with me. First line of resistance 0.57936, and we are just about in the oversold territory on the 1 hour, so coming into that bounce range. NMR USD found support just beneath that 26-day moving average on that previous low, so 62.351 is your support level. Resistance up there at the 68.8566. So we want to close above this 26-day moving average to maintain that support. So keep an eye out for that for NMR. Moving on to GRT USD. All the way down to the 1.52. So let's just say the 150 psychological. So maintaining that, that's good news for us bulls. And going all the way up to resistance at the 1.637, and right at the, you see the RSI indicator down here at the bottom, almost into the oversold. Let's look at UNI, Uniswap. UNI USD, 27.836 is your support level to watch out for, and then resistance is going to be climbing back through all these highs. And we do have these moving averages up above. So this one has some work to do. Resistance at the 28.798. Moving on to AAVE. Excuse me, as the voice cracks up every morning. There we go. 340.992 is your level of support. And resistance going to be right there, 352.667. So we'll watch that tight range as we run into the oversold territory. Let's have a look at MKR USD. MKR USD found support right here just beneath this previous low right there. We have 1, 2, so good support to lean back on the 219.261. And we're going to have resistance on the climb back through. First, right on top of that 100-day moving average. So that's going to be a little difficult. And then you got the 2 above it there. So resistance 2138.73. Having a look at audio. Audio, very little volume. If I could speak here, we're way oversold for audio, so it's leaking off pretty drastically here. So we'll scout a bounce for that and look at resistance up at the 2.3799, support down 2.07. Try to hold that $2 mark. Now looking at CHZ USD. CHZ USD, yep, we did fall through. Let's see where that support. We'll switch over here to the daily so we can find that support level. Not much help there. We're going to switch over to 30-minute and just see where that support's coming from. It's down beneath us. Right there it is. Okay, we got our support level. We'll zoom into the 4-hour. Much better. Just wanted to see, so if we get through, you're looking down at the must hold at the 0.3549 for CHZ, but we have support. We did get a bounce off of that 0.3666. You see, we did get the bounce attempt as the RSI went into the oversold. So trying to bounce here for CHZ USD. And gonna find some resistance. I know that sucker is in there. There we go. So climbing back through these previous highs. And just watch this territory up here, because you're gonna have a lot of overhead that the folks were buying through here and didn't get out. So resistance at the 0.4159, support 0.3635. I'll remap these things for the crypto happy hour tonight, and we'll start scouting some entries here as this particular one starts its bounce attempt already. Let's move on to Theta, THETA USD. As you can see here, Theta did not bleed out like the others, because it was not up at the all-time highs or it did get into the overbought. But we've got some support down at the 11.436 and resistance just above there. So we did get through all these moving averages, which shows some strength. And we're up above the 100, and we get the 12 crossing over the 26. So that's the red line over the blue line. I'll zoom in so you can see that better. So that sent us to upward momentum. So if we can get the 12 and the 100-day cross and the 26 to follow, we will be seeing some continuation for Theta. Moving on to ENJ USD, or I should say ENJB. We're looking at the Binance Coin version. Binance US, I do believe, yes. Let's look down here at support right there on that $2 psychological will be the ultimate support to hold, but we did get a bounce right there, as you can see on that previous low at the 2.02538. Going to look at resistance coming back up through these previous highs here, and just like the others, you do have some inventory to get through on the ride back up. It doesn't look significant, but we are, according to the RSI, oversold for this name as well. So all these are just starting to try to bounce this. Watch out for those dead cat bounces. So basically what that means, it goes up, bounces up, can't set a higher low and a higher high, and then falls back down to support to retest one more time, and then you're off to the running. Let's move on to ONE USD, Harmony One. Harmony One coming all the way back down. So you see we have this previous run up. So we came back down, found support at the 0.1200. And you're going to find resistance right there on that previous high over here to the left at the 0.1400. Yeah, you're right, Gordon. I need some coffee for sure. Need some coffee for sure. Struggling to get this stuff up and going this morning. So let's look at Storj, STORJ USD. Storj, we found us some support right there at the 2.075 resistance at the 2.388. Oversold RSI. So before I get into the Bitcoin dominance and total crypto market cap, anybody have any requests before I leave? We'll move on to Bitcoin dominance, BTC.D. As you can see, flush the money out of the altcoins. Money comes into the Bitcoin. They store it. So it's sitting in the exchanges ready to deploy. So everybody's looking for bounces. And so Bitcoin dominance up about 1%. Yep, maybe 2% actually, 57.54 BTC.D. And then we'll look at total crypto market cap. We were at the 2 trillion. So as you can see here, we're down about 5% at the 1,826,000,000,000. Folks, that does it for me today. I appreciate you stopping by. Be sure and like and subscribe. And I apologize for being late, but that is life in the off-grid world. Things happen. Have a great day out there. Look for those bounce attempts. Be smart with your money. And don't ever take financial advice from a dude on YouTube. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you tonight.